Was the land of the United States stolen, or was it conquered, just like every other great power in history? The way we talk about America's expansion shapes how we understand history. But what if the idea of stolen land is more about modern morality than historical reality? In this episode of The Raw Truth from Exploring Eras, we're breaking down the myths, the facts, and the uncomfortable truths about how nations, including the U.S., really gain and keep their land. To understand what happened in America, we have to start with a fundamental question. What is conquest? Throughout history, land hasn't been acquired through polite negotiations. Nations expand by force, diplomacy, and strategy. The Romans conquered vast territories. The Mongols swept across Asia, claiming land through warfare. The British Empire stretched across continents. And America, too, grew from a collection of colonies into a global power, not by accident, but through determination, ingenuity, and resilience. When a nation grows, it does so through a combination of war, negotiation, and power. That's not an American invention. It's how every civilization in history expanded. The term stolen land implies that Native Americans had absolute and recognized ownership, and suggests it was taken in a way that was uniquely wrong or different from how nations have always formed. But historically, land ownership wasn't determined by moral arguments. It was determined by who could control and defend it. The expansion of the United States was a combination of war, diplomacy, and negotiation. Some treaties were signed willingly, while others were made under pressure. Some agreements were honored, while others were broken. This wasn't unique to America. It was how power operated across history. Many Native American tribes were already fighting each other over land long before Europeans arrived. Some tribes expanded, some were wiped out. The Comanche displaced the Apache. The Iroquois Confederacy took land from other tribes. If conquest is theft, then all of human history is theft. To call America's land stolen implies that history should have worked differently here than it did everywhere else. But if we applied that same logic across history, then nearly every country on Earth would be built on stolen land. Because the reality is, no land was ever simply given. It was taken, defended, and controlled. Here's an important question. Was America's expansion different from every other nation's, or are we applying a modern moral standard selectively? Conquest alone doesn't define a nation. What comes after is just as important. America didn't just take land, it transformed it. What was once vast wilderness became cities, roads, and farms. What was once a scattered collection of territories became a unified nation. The settlers and immigrants who came here didn't just inherit a finished product, they built it. Towns sprang up where there was once only open land. Railroads stitched distant regions together, turning a frontier into a thriving network of commerce and culture. Unlike many empires before it, the United States didn't just claim land to extract wealth for a ruling class. It built a system that, despite its flaws, offered opportunities for millions of people from around the world. That system, imperfect as it was, fostered an unprecedented level of individual freedom and economic growth. Yes, injustices occurred. But focusing only on how land changed hands ignores the larger story of what was built afterward. A nation that reshaped the modern world in ways no one could have predicted. History is not a morality play. It is a story of survival, ambition, and creation. Every nation has its dark chapters, but the legacy of a country is not determined by its conflicts alone. It's determined by what it builds, what it stands for, and what it offers to the world. To view America solely through the lens of conquest is to ignore its achievements, its ideals, and its progress. America was not unique in how it expanded, but it was unique in what it became: a land of opportunity, a beacon of freedom, a nation that, despite its flaws, has led the way in human rights, innovation, and prosperity. The question isn't whether America was conquered or stolen. The question is what was built in its place. And that is the raw truth. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos.